Hey, let me just fix my camera. Okay. Hi, and welcome back to another episode or video from Tokyo PM. I wanted the opportunity today to discuss PM certification and are they actually worth it? Now, my personal belief is no, they're not worth it, but let me explain why. First of all, it depends on for what reason are you trying to get a certification? So let's bring it back. When it comes to product management, it's not similar to project management and it's not similar to cybersecurity in the sense that you have clear industry accepted certifications that can be used to show your skill level when it comes to a certain task. But product management is inherently company orientated. And so while there are best practices that you can learn, the way that your company chooses to implement the role of a product manager can vary greatly. And so there is no currently standardized certification that would maybe replace personal experience when it comes to what you put on your resume. Now, I say this as someone who has recently been certified by the IPIM course, that's AIPMM course in entry level product management. And on top of that, I am currently enrolled in product school's product manager course. And both of these programs, they have various courses available to product managers, and they will give you a shiny certification at the end of the course. But my reservations is, first of all, the courses aren't really worth it in reference to the product school themselves. You know, I really like the free material that they put up there. I really like the interviews that they do, the podcasts that they do, but it surprises me the quality of the course is quite poor. And part of the course, part of the offering that they have is a live community. But if the content of the course is not of the expected quality, then the live community is not that valuable. You're joining a course to do the course rather than for the community. Like the community is good and it's there and you'll get some level of engagement, but it's not the community that you're joining the course for. Like when you go to university, for example, you go to university for a certain major to learn a certain thing. And yes, you do meet people. And yes, you do have a community. But when a course program relies on the community to be the main selling point, it then makes you question, what's the purpose of the course itself? Now, it's really good to have feedback. So if you have a live cohort program or even just a normal cohort program, I think that's really worthwhile because you're working in a team. But when you have an online course that vaguely touts having a community, that's not as worth it as it might seem because it very much depends on the level of community engagement. But let me bring it back a little bit. So this is actually the second time that I'm filming this because the first time that I filmed it, unfortunately, the video didn't record. What I'm trying to say is that when you're taking a PM course, you want to understand, what am I taking the course for? How am I going to apply this course to what I do? And the issue with these PM courses that are available that try to justify themselves with the certification, they don't necessarily reflect what you're trying to learn. And so you pay a lot for a certification that does not translate into your day to day. And when I say you pay a lot, I'm going to use the product school as an example. Under the purchase now button, there's I forgot the wording exactly, but it gives you a draft template to send to your HR, to send to your manager to say, hey, you should pay for this course for me and get that expensed so that I can take this course. And so it's clear, they're charging a lot because they expect companies to reimburse. Surprisingly, the quality of the course is quite low, I will admit. And so if you're going to the course to learn something, or if you're going to the course for a certification, I would argue there's better resources available. But more importantly, it depends on what are you trying to do. So I assume that you're taking this course because you want to skill up yourself and you want to become a better PM, which is the same intention I have when I take this course. And what I realized is actually there's so many free resources available online, whether that's through YouTube or whether that's a lot cheaper on things like Udemy. But it does not necessarily mean that quality of the course is poor because it's not included with this certification, but instead, depending on your current circumstances and depending on what you're trying to learn, find the course that tackles that specifically and goes into a little bit more depth rather than one course that maybe covers all of the topics, because you don't get the depth that you might need in order to say or in order to feel like you've scaled up in that way. My recommendation, look for courses, individual standalone courses, don't require or don't rely on live community, but instead focus on this is what I'm trying to learn. The course will teach you this. And then to show that it has had impact rather than a certificate. If you figure out I have this problem, like for example, my personal weakness is data analytics and data science. Very bad with numbers. That's a skill that I really want to work on. So for example, instead of taking a broad PM course, which doesn't apply to my circumstance, I would find a specific course by, let's say, Mind the Product and Pindo. And in this case, I can find a course that is about data analytics very specifically, and I can scale up in that manner. Now, what that means is that then I can take those skills and I can apply them to the job that I do. And most importantly, see an impact from having taken that course. Now, one of the reasons that people might take these sort of certificate courses is because they want to put that onto their CV and say, hey, look, I'm certified because I've done this course. But again, product management is very company based, and product management doesn't have the same industry standards that you would find in project management, for example. So we don't have a PMP, or cybersecurity also has their own industry approved certification, and we don't have that either. So my biggest recommendation would be if you want something on your CV, then go out there and take a course, apply it to your current circumstance. And you don't need to be in a company. Even if you're a student and you want to do something product management related, find a product management course that you're interested in, study that course, implement what you've learned into any project that you're trying to do, and then show the impact of having taken that course. And so rather than a simple LinkedIn certificate saying, with your name saying like, oh, I've done this course, you can say, no, I noticed I had this problem. I went out and found this course, applied this course to this situation, and I managed to achieve this result. And what that'll give you is a lot more certainty in yourself saying, hey, actually, I managed to do this. And it gives you more credibility rather than, hey, here's a certification. I personally believe that there's so much information online that you don't need to pay for these courses that maybe don't go in as much depth as you would hope. For example, the PM School one, a lot of free resources available, really good free ebook that they have called the Product Book, and very good podcasts that they have. But I would question if the course is worth going for. Same for IPIM, which I'm also certified. IPIM has a very good course if you're the product lead and you're starting your own team and you want to implement it in their way. So like, this is the framework, this is how you implement it start to finish. It's kind of like learning how to run a company, but it's in only one specific way, and that might not be what you're looking for, right? That might not tie in with what you want to skill up in. So like my data analytics example, my recommendation would be find your weakness or find something that you want to improve on. Find a course on that, because I promise you there is, and go out and learn it, apply it, show what the impact was. And that on your CV, especially if you're trying to look for a job or change jobs or even just improving your current place of employment, that will have a lot more impact than paying more than is worth for these PM courses that are available out there. The internet is an incredible place, and YouTube's an incredible place. There's so much free information available. So find the free information. The things that are worth paying for, I will add at the end. Maybe not PM certs, but if you have a PM live cohort, a senior PM mastermind where you have a bunch of PMs in the same place and you can work together and share with each other, but that's like a structured program that you do together. Those things are worth paying for. But when it comes to trying to show that you have experiences, Don't rely on a certification that you'll get from some online program, but instead use the opportunity to learn and apply what you've learned. And that'll go a lot further than what a PM certification might reveal. That's my 2 cents. If you have any questions or any course references or requests that you have, please do let me know. I'm more than happy to help you try find a course if you have a problem that you're trying to identify. One issue that I'm trying to address is my data analytics abilities. And so I found this course from Mind the Product and Pindo. Both are the parent organization for Product Pink Tokyo. And so they've put together a course that took a lot of work. I had a chat with the CEO of Pindo, and he informed me, it was a lot of work to put together, but it really allows Pindo to show what they do when it comes to aiding companies in understanding their users' information. And so for me, because data analytics is something that I'm not very strong at, I'm actually currently going through the course to try and learn how do I improve in this skill. And that will then allow me to apply it to the work that I do now and hopefully get some result afterwards. And that to add on to LinkedIn will be a lot more valuable than, hey, I have this one certificate and that maybe doesn't even apply to circumstances. So my recommendation. Thank you.